Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Shitty Mike Speed here, and today we're going to be covering 7.38 beat. If you're wondering why my mic is so bad, I'm currently boot camping for PGL Wallachia, tournament my team qualified for, in Romania, and I'm in a LAN cafe. You heard that right? I am in a LAN cafe with a headset mic. But, you know, the patch came out. I thought I'd make the video nonetheless. There's probably a shit ton of echo and low quality, but let's get into the patch.
On top of that, go sign up to the Game League website, guys. I'm posting new content over there almost every day, and I'll see you there.
Alrighty, so first of all, this is a big thing. It's funny, I've actually gotten a few messages from you guys on Steam and on Discord about the Tormentor and my opinions on its priority. And yeah, I thought in the last patch it was pretty broken. It gave 1,250 gold to the team and then a shard. So if you had broken shards, it was the best objective probably in Dota history by far. Really, really broken. And so it's still kind of close to that. It does give way less now, so I wouldn't say it's nearly as OP. It's also actually a lot tankier. It regens faster, and it absorbs 200 more damage, which I'm sure, as a lot of you guys know, it is a lot, right? Because this thing would barely not kill you sometimes, and now it heals way quicker, almost 30% quicker, and has 200 more health. So pretty problematic. Plus, it gives less gold. It only gives 175 instead of 250, which is a huge decrease, right? And so I would say going for the Tormentor is way less important now. I would say it's actually returned to being an objective that is more about, I wouldn't say completely about, but more about good shards. So if your team happens to have, let's say, a Phoenix Pos 5 and, you know, a Pos 4, let's say something like Spirit Breaker, which is solid, right? Then it would be worth it. You know, in that case, it would be super, super worth it. So you just got to know the value of your team's shards and then push for it if it is good. If it's not, I would say it's far less of a priority now. Okay, they moved, they did a couple of other things, but they're not really any big deals. They moved the spawn box of certain camps and they changed around a couple of trees. I would assume most of these are positive changes just to make the map feel better. Skadi got some really interesting changes. It slows more now, and it no longer has a separate attack speed slow against melee targets. So previously, this item was better against ranged heroes. Now it's the same. So Skadi can now be purchased against, well, any hero, and it slows by 20%, which is really, really nice. It's an attack speed slow, so much better item now. It still does not go through BKB, so that's the primary issue with Skadi. But yeah, the attack speed slow is better. Now, you do have to keep in mind the movement speed slow is still only 25% against melee and 50% against range, so Skadi particularly still destroys range heroes. But at least if you're trying to man up to some sort of melee carry, this item is not only better, it's way better. And I think it will see some time in the light against heroes like Slark that decide to skip BKB typically until, you know, 4th or 5th item. You can pick up a Skadi on a hero like Terrorblade and really have quite a bit of impact as you're constantly reapplying it. Glimmer Cape, the bonus movement speed, which was a big deal, is now 40 to 20, so this item is quite a bit worse. Glimmer mana cost from 90 to 125, so the Glimmer Cape meta gonna be far worse now. If you weren't doing it, I would say you don't have to learn. I would say these nerfs are kind of big enough where I would suggest straying away. However, I will say that there are certain heroes that will still certainly buy it. An example of this, I still think it's worth it on something like Doom, where you just kind of want that early HP and then you can sell the item with your facet. I think it probably is still worth it on something like Bristleback, where, you know, if you buy enough mana items, again, it's kind of just about having that extra bit of tankiness. So there's still going to be heroes that will absolutely buy it. I do believe that this item has been underrated for a long time and won't change. Halberd now no longer requires a ring of regen, but the recipe is more expensive. Honestly, I still think that this item is fantastic. A lot of the time, people didn't even buy the ring of regen that early. They would buy the crown at times, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. I would say it's a nerf, but nothing huge. Conda's still shit. Corrosion still extremely good. One less agi, but it's actually better against melee heroes, funny enough. Same thing for Orb of Frost, better against melee heroes in terms of the slow. Orchid is now a bit weaker, but still good, so not too much different. Now we got the neutral item changes. So Mana Drought, which is, in my opinion, the best neutral item in the game per tier, is now, it was 60 plus 2% of your max mana, now it's 30 plus 4% of your max mana, which basically means to me that this item scales better. Funny enough, it's weaker early on, I would assume, but it scales better. So it's funny, guys. In many games, I was keeping this until tier 3, and I'm not kidding. Right? There's just games where I just don't, I either can't afford or don't want any of the tier 2s. And that might be even more of the case now. So I don't know. This item is quite broken and you should still certainly take it. Orb of Destruction is now lower duration, but probably still good. Pigpole, I think this item is going to be really great, actually. Funny enough, it gives 5% more movement speed. It's 5-second less cooldown, so it makes you really fast at 20% movement speed. And my teammate made a really good point, which is the duration is decreased from 4 to 3, and that might seem like a nerf, but actually it's probably a buff, because at times you wouldn't want to use the item because the 4 seconds was just a bit too long. Like if you were chasing someone, it would feel a bit clunky because yeah, you would be a pig for 4 seconds. And so taking that extra second away makes it a much better chase item, and I really do believe that to be true. Polywog Charm, the rivet duration is 4 seconds longer. This item's way better now. It gives an extra, 32 health. So yeah, Polywog Charm, certainly much, much better in my opinion. Ripper's Lash, better by 5 seconds. Shovel, worse by 10 seconds. Shovel was certainly broken in my opinion. I would always take Mana Drought or Shovel. So now I would lean towards Mana Drought. Shovel, I would still say Shovel's honestly not a bad item, even after this nerf, but it's worse. Brigand's Blade, big nerf, probably still one of the only good items for right clickers, comically enough, but yeah, way worse, from 5% to 7% of their health. So now they have to lose 7% of their health for you to get 3 more damage, which is pretty rough. It's actually a huge nerf. Essence Ring, weaker item, still decent though if you need that burst HP. Iron Talon, a bit buff. Searing Signet, this one is a major nerf. There are certain heroes that get hit hard by this. So now the threshold for Searing Signet to proc the damage over time went from 40 to 55. And unfortunately, this makes certain heroes, for instance, like Tinker, if he farmed creep waves or certain neutral camps, his March would proc. Now it just won't ever. And so, yeah, I'm not going to go through all the heroes, but yeah, you're just going to have to really think through. For instance, on Zeus, it completely does not matter, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic on Zeus and completely broken on that hero, but yeah, some heroes have to care. Gale Guard now gives a 250 barrier instead of 400. That item was beyond overpowered, so it is good that it's nerfed. Gunpowder Gauntlet, Beat the Crowd, now also deals 50% of bonus magic damage to enemies in the splash radius. Now bypasses physical damage block, okay. Ninja Gear now costs 100 mana. I already thought that this item was pretty bad, now it's even worse. Honestly, Shiv has been nerfed. It probably deserves it. I will admit, I wish they just buffed more of these items rather than nerfing like the top items, because I think most of them are kind of not that great. Honestly, like things like Gunpowder Gauntlet, I've literally never seen a single one. Polywog Charm is like quite underwhelming. Pig Pole, like I'm glad they buffed that, but I feel like there's a lot more in my opinion. Like I wish I almost buffed a few of the items a bit more, but sure, there's not that many of them to begin with, I guess. Serrated Shiv, down by 2% of their current health, which it's probably still a good item, let's be real. It's just current health damage when people are full HP. This item just does a bonkers amount of damage. Crippling Crossbow, this item is not bad if you're against heal. It's actually something at tier 4 you have to consider. It has an 800 cast range, it slows people and reduces healing by 40%. So yeah, this item's actually decent against heal heroes. Mindbreaker got nerfed. This item was complete dog shit, and it's nerfed. So I don't know if 3K... I'm pretty sure how they do these patches primarily is they look at win rate, I assume, and probably more so pick rate. I think they actually look much more at pick rate, if I'm not mistaken. That's my guess. Because no one in high MMR, as far as I'm concerned, takes this crap. Mindbreaker. It's so bad. But I think a lot of low MMR carries probably do, because this item used to be very good. But now it's just beyond terrible. So I don't... And now it's even worse. Fear Cloak now reflects more damage. I mean, this item is actually not bad. It's just 6 seconds, 75% of damage taken by the caster is reflected at the target as physical damage. I mean, this item is just solid. Like, it's just another Blade Mail, and now it's actually a lot better now, 15% better. Fallen Sky, nerfed by 10. Pirate Hat, well, you get so much gold if you get a kill. You have 400 gold if you kill someone. You steal it. Wow. That's kind of crazy. This item's actually going to be... I mean, it's minute 60, so it kind of doesn't matter. And then Unrelenting Eye. This item gives you slow resist, and if people are close to you, it removes that slow resist. But now, if they're close to you, you get status resist. So this item is way better now, and actually probably quite broken. If people get on top of you, like certain jump heroes, you just status resist, which is one of the strongest stats in the game. All right, Brawny James. Health bonus decreased, just in the later levels, but this item is worse in the later levels, so it's the same at level 1. The magic resistance on a mystical is a bit worse, and vampiric is a bit worse. All right, let's get to the hero changes now, the exciting part. Abaddon lost a bit of mana regen. Mephitic Shroud, duration from 17 to 14. Miss Coil is a weaker heal and damage, and the cast range was nerfed in the later levels. Aphotic Shield on Quickening is 15 to 12, so also 3 seconds weaker. And here's probably the biggest nerf, more than any of the other ones. Mana cost on the shield up by 15. Okay, to be fair, it's only at level 1. At max, it's the same, which is actually really, really nice. And I like that they did that because it would just cripple the hero completely if it was at max. Yeah, basically, I think this hero is still going to be fantastic. I still think it's going to be a top win rate. However, one thing that they also did, which I didn't even realize when I first started the patch, his Academ Scepter radius was changed from 900 to Mistcoil cast range. And Mistcoil cast range is 625, almost a 50% decrease. Now, I assume that means if you buy Aether Lens, which you don't really buy on this hero, it's not bad, but you don't really buy it on this hero. So now the Ags is way worse. One thing to keep in mind, if you want to go Ags Abaddon, you can take cast range neutral items to make it better. So that's something to consider, but it is quite a bit worse. I don't know if there's other ways to make Mistcoil cast range go up. As far as I'm concerned, I don't believe so. Grievous Greed no longer provides Spell Amp. All right. Gifting Ags, sorry. No longer provides Spell Amp for Alk. AA lost a bit of Agi gain, probably still good. Arc Warden, Rune Duration on the Rune Replica. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to figure that one out. Beastmaster lost 3 damage. Brewmaster's Innate that I've literally never seen is better. Broodmother lost 2 damage. And Necrotic Webs don't work on heroes in the Fountain, which was really funny. You would get 70% less HP regen from the Fountain. You literally wouldn't heal in the Fountain. Then we have Chen, who got one of the most broken buffs of the patch. Convert abilities now also level up with Holy Persuasion. And basically no one gives a shit about Chen, so I'm not going to spend any time on this. But let me tell you, for certain converts, it's massive. Like, if you like Chen, go play the hero. It feels pretty insane on Satyr in particular. Darkseer, base armor decreased by 1. Restore percentage per hero level decreased. So Darkseer already had super high armor, so 1 armor less is, I mean, it sucks, but it's not a huge deal. And then your Innate heals you when you level up. But frankly, it's not the end of the world. This hero is still completely broken. Dazzle. Your Nothel Bloom, now allies receive 5% extra healing from Dazzle per stack. I mean, this is pretty insane. If you apply weave stacks to people, you just give them 5% more. I mean, that's a lot. Like, guys, that is a lot. 5% more per stack on allies. Like, considering you get more Shadow Waves. I mean, this applies when you Shadow Grade people. It applies when you E them, and your E is a low cooldown because you're old, which just got nerfed actually, but it's a lot. So yeah, pretty nice buff to Nothel Boom, honestly. Boon, very good with Holy Lock and Mech Dazzle, which is probably what you should do if you go Nothel Bloom. They nerfed Poison Touch pretty hard. Instead of being a 5-second duration, it's now 3.5, which at first I didn't think was that big of a deal, because I'm like, oh, it's just like, you'll still reapply it in 3.5 seconds. But, you know, after you reapply it, it's going to, like, it eventually ends, and it's going to deal, 1.5 seconds less damage. But it scales up to the same. I think Dazzle was a fantastic hero, and still is, even after this nerf, but they're definitely pushing some sort of a core Dazzle, as they also nerfed the cooldown reduction on Shadow Wave during the ult. But yeah, I think the hero is still very, very good. Dragonite, best carry in the game, is the AoE while in Dragon form is decreased from 175 to 100, and the magic damage on attacks decreased at all levels, almost half at max. So it used to give 40 damage at max, now it gives 24. So I don't want to say this hero is dead. I don't think it is, but man, it's probably just average as heck now. Maybe the other facets are good, maybe, who knows. Ember Spirit, strength gain reduced by 0.3. Okay, Hoodwink, the cooldown on Bushwhack went from 14 to 15, 14, 13, 12. It's pretty nice, 2 seconds less at max. It's quite good. Inner Fire and Huskar, slight nerf. Invoker, they nerfed Agent of Galaron, which is the Ag Sunstrike. They buffed Mind of Tornaris, which I literally have not seen. They buffed the Alacrity. And then they buffed Scholar of Corks. Kind of sounds like Cox. When Cold Snap triggers, Invoker now also restores 5 mana in addition to existing healing based on Quas. Okay, I mean, that seems quite nice, actually. I mean, it's a lot of... I mean, this hero has mana problems early on, so it's a lot of mana from Cold Snap. That's good. And they nerfed Forge Spears a little bit. Jakiro, here's a big one. So path duration decreased from 6 to 5. This is on the Ice Breakthrough facet where the ice path stays on the ground for longer. I don't think this is a big deal. I don't think you would leave it on the ground anyway, most of the time. If you stun someone, you would proc it again to chain stun them generally. So I don't think this one matters. But here's the big thing. Ice path cooldown, 2 levels more at all levels. Yeah, that sucks. Because, I mean, here's the thing. It's just, you're a chain stun bot, right? This is just one of those heroes where the main value in the mid game is itemizing around Ice Path and casting Ice Path. In my builds, I would go Glimmer, Force, Solar, and an Aether Lens just to exist to click more Ice Paths. And that was the value of the hero. So yeah, big nerf. Still think Jakiro's good, honestly. Even after this, I still think he's going to be a solid pick, but not nearly as broken. And also, why he's not nearly as broken is the 15 talent Ice Path cooldown has been replaced with dog shit damage. So he lost his best talent. That is his best talent for sure. Now, what I actually think you're supposed to take is Liquid Fire attack speed slow. And I really mean that. It sounds like a joke, but it's 50. The ability is 60. This is 50. It is almost a double. That is a 110 second attack speed slow on a 4-second cooldown, AoE. And it works on towers. It completely negates Glyph. And certain heroes that do not have dispels literally can't attack. So I actually think the pivot to this facet is really not bad. And I think that is what people should do to make the hero more viable. And I'm not going to give up on Jakiro personally, but the hero is certainly worse. Okay, Keeper of the Light. I think this hero might be a broken hero. The cooldown on Spear form is now 85, 80, 75 from 85, so much shorter at high level, and this hero gets levels very quickly. Duration from 40 to 40, 45, 50. So not only is the duration better, the cooldown is also better. So basically, this ability at max went from a 45-second downtime to a 25-second downtime. Yeah. And the Illuminate heal went from 50, 60, 70 to 70 flat. This ability at level 1 is insane. So yeah, KotL, definitely a hero to look out for. Core or support will be completely viable, in my opinion. And yeah, the only thing is they got rid of his 20 talent, but they replaced it with Spirit Form movement speed, which frankly might be a great talent because you don't need Spirit Form duration. You already have basically permanent duration, and if you have Octarine, you essentially do. Kez got some base int and some strength gain. The Invis crit bonus on Shoto Sai, he has a new facet. Scales with ultimate abilities instead of Shoto Sai. Invis bonus crit rescaled. Okay. I mean, maybe that was this facet. I really don't know. Grappling Claw, they buffed the lifesteal. This is, by the way, the lowest winner hero in the game. It's probably not anymore after this. And then Raptor Dance and Vulnerability Period increased from 0.1 to 0.2. Which I imagine is good. Can now block all physical attack sources with Shoto Sai. Maybe that's strong. I don't know. Leshrac, probably the best mid of the patch. Damage as mana restored increased on chronopic nourishment from 10 to 14. I mean, this might be pretty legit. I'm not going to cap. Might be pretty legit. It's now 40% better at level 1, which is quite good. And it makes your auto attacks give you mana back. I don't know. I have to test this one. Not really sure. Diabolic Edict, mana cost increased, which sucks. At max level, it's 30 more mana. This hero already has mana problems, and Lightning Storm does not slow attack speed, which I think occasionally will get you killed, as it was not that short of a duration. At max, it was a 1.2 second, I believe, 100 or like super high attack speed slow. So pretty big nerf. This hero definitely hit pretty hard, the mid-lesh. I think it will still be solid, but certainly not broken in this patch. Lifestealer, arguably the best carry of the patch. Maybe the best behind Dragonite. Definitely now. I mean, definitely not Dragonite anymore, but yeah, base agi decreased by 4. Oof. That's half an armor, more than half an armor, and 4 less attack speed. They nerfed Flesh Feast. The max hero per kill went from 55 at max to 35. The Feast max HP hero per kill went from 15 to 10 flat. And it's Ags, so a very popular item on the hero, the Ags, it no longer disarms targeted enemy heroes. So it just does not disarm, which it worked through BKB, and that was the big thing in a lot of matchups. Now, to be fair, against heroes like Troll, you probably still might buy it just so you can hide from them during his ult. So yeah, I think Lifestealer honestly is probably still a pretty good hero. It was so strong that like I don't think these nerfs are going to kill it. I also think the other facet might be worth considering. However, if you do that, you're going to have way less health for sure. Lina probably still shit. Lycan, Spirit Wolves, I don't know, guys. Is this good? You get more health. It's 50 more health. I guess that's not bad. Magnus, one of the best carries in the patch, at least at the pro scene, is now slightly worse, but still broken. Rebound does a little bit less damage on Marcy, and I mean, yeah, I don't know, the hero's still very, very good. Medusa, Venomous Volley is now 1 more attack to proc, which is definitely a pretty big nerf, but it was one of the highest win rate facets in Dota, so you can see why they did that. Meepo, Codependent nerfed, I guess was too good. I don't know. Starstruck, which is the Mirana facet that would blind you, now blinds for 3 seconds flat instead of 3.54, 4.55, so probably still a good hero, but not as broken. Wukong's command, soldiers no longer receive a copy of Monkey King's neutral items. Well, that sucks. The hero is already trash. I wonder what interaction they're even trying to get rid of with that, because I can't imagine it's that broken with most of the items. It was probably broken with things like, I don't know, Brigand's Blade, I guess, but damn, that is bad. That's quite bad, actually. Muerta, the calling no longer slows attack speed. It was 60. Now it doesn't get it. Well, it wasn't 60 flat, but it was 60 at max. Now you just do not get it. That is bad. Nature's Prophet, Aghanim Scepter no longer reduces cooldown by 25, so the Scepter is way worse. You should not rush it now, honestly. In my opinion, I think it is straight up not worth it. Just buy something else. However, they also nerfed the 10 talent, rather nature-based damage, by 5. I think the other one was generally better, though. And Talent Sprout Leashes, which was very powerful, replaced with 15 Wrath of Nature cooldown, which honestly, 15 Wrath of Nature cooldown, guys, if you know how to use it and when to use it, is a great talent. It's very good map control and very good for farming for core profit and even support. Okay, movement speed decreased on Night Rain. This is Night Stalker from 16 to 10, but it's the same in max. So basically at level 1, it's not nearly as good because, you know, you got that free point in it. It was kind of overpowered. I would say it's still strong, though. They also nerfed this 10 talent by a little. PL is slightly better. Underlord slightly better. Spectre slightly better. Storm, a little bit of int gain decrease, but the hero's probably still not bad. But I mean, it's int gain on Storm, probably hurts him a bit. Tidehunter, way worse now. Damn, they really hit him. So Anchor Smash was 30, 40, 50, 60% damage reduction when you hit someone. Now it goes up to 40, and it starts at 25. It's almost the same at level 1, but damn, 20% worse. They also made the damage on his shard half from 200 to 100, and the mana cost by 30 on a hero that often has mana problems. So pretty rough. Tiny, big nerfs as well. Bonus armor and grow from 10 to 5 at level 1, and from 24 to 15, so half at level 1, and 9 less at level 18. Pretty rough. I think the hero is a terrible carry for the average player, and generally, okay, you know what I'll say? It's better this patch because you played it with Intermountable. It was reasonably easy, but not a hero I'd generally recommend. Troll Shard no longer works on buildings and wards. Drinking Buddies is actually quite a lot better now. This is Tusk Facet. It gives 15 more damage at max. Venogale, instead of being 50 flat, slows 35, 40, 40, 45, 50. Not the end of the world, but a pretty sizable nerf to my boy Veno Jungle. Visage, Grave Chill duration decreased from 6 to 5. Okay, so nerf to the Shuffle chart, and they also nerfed the move speed drain, so this hero, quite a bit worse now, especially the Shuffle chart. Black Grimoire, XP per kill and assist decreased from 250 to 200. Pretty sizable nerf, but probably still pretty strong overall. Weaver Bugs nerfed at all levels by 0.05, which probably isn't the end of the world, but, you know, it matters with the Hive Mind and the fact that that's what the hero plays around. Yeah, pretty rough. Agility gain on Wind Ranger from 1.7 to 1.9. That's pretty nice. Getting back to where it was, sort of. And the Shackle duration, actually pretty big buff. 0.15 seconds longer at all levels. I would say that certainly matters, right? You know, it definitely matters. It's a really long stun. Winter Wyvern. Recursive no longer amplifies magical, physical, and pure damage taken from Winter Wyvern. That sucks a little bit. So this facet is way worse. Curse target is no longer immune to physical damage from Winter Wyvern and her controlled units. But the big thing here, the big nerf to Winter's Curse is the cooldown nerf from 85, 80, 75 to 100 at level 1. Yeesh. 90, 80. So at max, about the same, but at level 1, 15 seconds longer. And finally, Zeus lost 4 damage, and his Bolt from 750 true sight to 500. So it was way harder to find wards with this now. Thankfully, sentries are much better, but let me tell you, fighting wars with Zeus, whew, and Scout and Invis heroes, quite a bit worse. But all right, thank you guys for watching. Sorry about the mic quality. Might be this for a little bit, unfortunately. Hopefully you guys don't unsubscribe because of it. Maybe I'll try to get a better mic if I'm, I'll be here for a bit. Actually, for quite a while. I'll be here for like 2 to 3 weeks. But yeah, I'm going to keep trying to post videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Excited for this patch. Really, I think I've been having a lot of fun with this patch. I actually think it's been really, really fun, and a lot of the heroes for Pause 5, which is my main role, are quite great right now. So pretty excited for the patch. Hopefully you guys are as well. And I'll see you in the next one.
And that's all. But remember, before you leave, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.